and thank you for tuning in. Today, we are going to be looking at two more altcoins, and just kind of just looking at the price action and analysis of these two, and what can we expect from them in the coming years. Um, I mentioned this because currently, right now, Bitcoin is at a very good level. I'm saying this repeatedly. We have bounced off of the 20-week moving average, and as history has shown, is that the 20-week moving average is an indication of a major bull market. So, if it is what this current price action is indicating, is that green candles ahead for the next few years at least. And when we are in a bull market, we can then soon look towards altcoins to start assessing, gathering positions for greater returns. And the main idea when looking at altcoins is, well, what altcoins can outpace Bitcoin? So when with that mentality, you're obviously going to want to look at the altcoin against the Bitcoin ratio, whether that's Ethereum against Bitcoin, Chainlink against Bitcoin, Cardano against Bitcoin, heck, even Ripple against Bitcoin. Those play a immense part. And the first one we're going to take a look at is basic attention token. So, basic attention token, the I think Binance has the most price history coming up to November 17th, the week of November 17th. And this is essentially what we are getting off of the weekly time frame. Oh, mind you, we're also in a logarithmic chart. So, with this token, it really shows, at least in the kind of tail end of the last rally of Bitcoin. So that was December 2017. So actually, at this point right here was the peak of Bitcoin. Right here, this was the peak, and ever since then, Bitcoin trended down. However, we saw the last gasps, so to speak, of of altcoins, and even mind you, like altcoins did rally right after that, and a lot of them showed amazing returns. Ethereum was one of them. However, for today, we're going to be looking at basic attention token. So you can see right here that this run was that 2017-2018 altcoin rally at the tail end of Bitcoin's peak. We rallied. However, uh, after that, you start to notice, at least now, that uh, basic attention token oscillates almost. It doesn't go through these giant boom and bust cycles. It really just oscillates in between these channels. And I drew some lines here just to get some focus here. So this middle upper channel here is what has history has shown us to be kind of like the peaks of the oscillation, and lower here, and you can even say like here as well would have been the bottom of that. However, I tend to believe that it's going to be this bottom channel that's going to be the bottom uh, of this upcoming cycle. Hence why I'm making this video now, because you could see that we're right at the end of it. I contend that if basic attention token does oscillate like this, we can then assume when Bitcoin makes its run, when Bitcoin makes its run to the next all-time high, we can then assume that basic attention tokens most likely going to end up at this bottom channel here. Bitcoin's going to outpace it, and it's going to lose its ratio against Bitcoin. Thus, it's going to drop. And I foresee that it is really going to end up like this, that we're going to hit the bottom channel and then we're going to instantly shoot back up. And these kinds of trades are something that's kind of like Litecoin or Ripple, where the price really just shoots up and then comes back down, and that's about it. Like the party's over. It ends in weeks, matter of weeks. With basic attention token, you can take advantage of the oscillation, at least in a altcoin rally, where you can then set your price targets to this channel up here. Sell your positions on the way up, because we can there's no 100% guarantee it's going to hit this, but sell your positions on the way up and then buy back in when it comes down, and then rinse and repeat. And if you're lucky, and we can only anticipate this, is that it reaches this top level here. However, it's highly doubtful. I'm not too sure. It's only reached this channel once in its lifetime, and that was during the middle of 2019, which in terms of where we were, it was actually just at the beginning of the like that little bubble that we had in 2019. That pump from basic attention token happened here, so I would find that negligible. Or you can then assume, like, when Bitcoin makes a good like a giant move, kind of like what we're in right now, you can assume that basic attention token will rise. However, this token, I would only consider buying in this channel here. I will not consider it if it's over. So if, for example, like what we saw just recently, this right here was in the month of August. What was Bitcoin doing in the month of August? Well, it was oscillating. Actually, it was range bound. It was right here. It was that point in time. And like I said the other day, or I think it was actually earlier today, when Bitcoin ranges above the 20 weekly moving average, altcoins tend to benefit from that. So there could be another possibility where if Bitcoin is range bound up here, altcoins, I suspect, will definitely benefit from that, and then we're going to see basic attention token rise back up. How high it rises, I'm not too sure, but I'm willing to accept that if it does rise, then I'm just gonna accept that I missed the boat. But that's definitely entirely up to you on how you want to play it. Like, if your risk tolerance for it is like you're able to stomach that, then by all means, because if it does drop within that channel, you do lose 30% roughly, and for all we know, it could drop even more. I'm just using this because that was the one instance it came down to that level. It could very well drop below that. But that's kind of like what I'm looking at with basic attention token, and we're talking years ahead, or at least months ahead, before basic attention token potentially could reach these upper level channels. Because when I'm showing this is right after the peak of Bitcoin on the last cycle. So technically, we're gonna have to wait until Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high. Mind you, it might not be. We might not have to wait until the peak, but we're definitely going to have to wait till at least $20,000 to even consider basic attention token showing decent returns and reaching about this channel. and even more hopeful at this level. And just looking at if you bought within this channel, so say at 1340 sats, you would make a return at about, close to 300%. Um, and even at this channel, at 500% gain against Bitcoin, which is phenomenal. Mind you, I wouldn't necessarily recommend holding and waiting until you get to this channel. I would ascribe to at least make some price targets. So just looking at if you did buy at that bottom channel there, um, I would recommend maybe looking at certain resistance levels that basic attention token kind of looks at, and selling at least part of your position at those points. And then when you get to this point, you can sell a majority stake and then hold that until you reach like up here to like this level, or any part of that, or any part of this channel here. But that's kind of like what I'm looking at with basic attention token. This is by no means something that can be guaranteed, but looking at the current price action, I suspect that basic attention token will, it's down at this level, but it could, I believe that it will rise and kind of maybe top off there and kind of oscillate a little bit more, and then come late 2021, Bitcoin makes its giant move, and then the Bitcoin ratio is just going to drop, and then I would consider buying a position down here. Moving on, and one of the reasons why I wanted to show basic attention token, because it's one of the, it goes to show that altcoins all react differently. Um, you can have like something like Chainlink, and it's just on an exponential move. You can look at Ethereum, where it kind of has, again, these massive cycles against Bitcoin. And then that's kind of like what we're kind of what we're waiting for here, but it's going down. But um, essentially, that's what we're hoping for, is these giant moves from Ethereum. The following altcoin I want to show, and this is definitely like extremely risky, is Celsius token. Now, in the previous video, I mentioned talking about Uniswap, and there's a reason why I'm looking at Uniswap, is because I technically missed the boat with a bunch of the DeFi projects that really shot up, like Kava, Compound, but even Compound has been trailing. But those kinds of projects, and they're all trending downwards now. But in the meantime, I was stacking Celsius token, because in my mind is, well, I wanted something as an alternative to what Kava and Compound were doing, by using smart contracts to gain interest and lending. I wanted a comparable token on the other side of the spectrum, so a centralized CeFi, if you will, centralized financed project. And in comparison to Celsius, to, I believe there's Nexo and Crypto.com, those three are the ones that basically have tokens assigned to the project. In my view, I thought Celsius was the better of the three. Crypto.com is not overvalued, but its market cap is insane. I don't foresee any or a good enough return on investment for that kind of project. And Nexo, I mean, I can show Nexo here. If my page loads, Nexo is I could invest in Nexo or buy Nexo token, but you'll see what I'm talking about here, where I can't make sense of this chart. Um, I really can't. At least with Celsius, it's pretty clear, and so because of that, um, I have been stacking Celsius token for quite a while. I My first positions were actually um, mid 2020. Um, I can show you right here, down in this area right here. That's when I started buying, and ever since then I haven't. I believe I bought. I believe I bought here, which was kind of a mistake. I should have waited a little longer, but I did. I did buy Celsius token a little bit at the first drop. But ever since then, I haven't been holding any or stacking anymore. I've just been holding my position. But I may consider buying more eventually. And this explanation will show why. However, mind you, Celsius is very young. Uh, it's only been on the market for a little over a year. This chart shows up to 2019. The project itself has been here for, I believe, since 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Can give you the exact date. CoinGecko will allow me. Okay, no, yeah. The project's been around for 2 years, but the token has only been here briefly for about a year. However, looking at this, it's just on this amazing parabolic move, and um, this curve just shows this exponential growth, and it's just been on an amazing tear. And I will hold Celsius token until the trend is reversed, or it does not follow this exponential trend anymore, which is why I feel like it's a risky play. And simply because it's been on this parabolic move, it doesn't seem it wants to stop. And right now it has been correcting, but I want to point your attention to these here. So the last time in earlier in the year, Celsius was dropping in price. It was creating a descending wedge of sorts, as you can see here, or a falling wedge. Sorry, and then the pattern reversed, and then went on a parabolic move. You can see here it's not so much a descending wedge, but definitely on a descending channel, and then the price was reversed. So I would I wouldn't bet my house, but I would expect this correction here from Celsius to, from what I can see here, it's not it. This is by no means like a perfect falling wedge, but if this current candle here drops and then we find support on this line, then and come back up and then drop back down once it hits this line, I'd be more confident to say it's another falling wedge. But it always seems that Celsius against Bitcoin will correct towards this this exponential band here, and um, just because it happened twice in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen again. But um, this is my bet. This is going to be my bet for kind of like the centralized finance token here, or centralized finance project, and that is one reason why I'm interested in Uniswap. For that reason, I wanted to hold both. I wanted a decentralized governance token along with the centralized variation of it, if you will. Now, mind you, the two projects are different. The Celsius is like a custodian lending company that provides interest to depositors, while Uniswap provides liquidity uh, depositors like a swap fee, and they earn it and they earn money off of that. However, I feel like it'd be in my mind, a smart move to hold both, and I'm just currently waiting on a good price. I did mention that I am considering buying. It seems like this correction is soon coming to a close. It's down 73%. I may start starting my position here. If it moves further down, I'll buy more at greater with more Bitcoin. If it moves up, then I will not buy anymore. I feel like the like this upper range here, the risk is a little too much for me, and I'd be kind of skittish in buying. So, however, that first initial deposit will be enough to make me feel like I'm putting enough money. If it does move back up, like I'll be satisfied, and not too little where it won't make any difference in my portfolio if it does shoot up. So that's something to keep in mind. But that's all I wanted to talk about right now is showing two different kind of essentially altcoins and how they both react. Mind you, Celsius is a like a newer coin compared to basic attention token, but as of right now, the trend is that it's just exponentially going up, and until that trend changes, that is going to be pretty much what I'm looking at here, and nothing right now will change my mind otherwise. I mean, unless like Celsius totally changes its interest system. Like if it pulls a crypto.com, then I would be extremely bearish and I will pull my money. And even if it dropped 50% here, like even if it did drop 50%, or more, I would still be up money considering where I started buying. So, something to consider. I do, but I don't by any means say you have to buy Celsius, but Celsius is my comparable against decentralized finance, and I think Celsius is a good company with an extraordinarily very I don't know how to say, but he's a great leader, very convincing leader, I should say, in Alex Mashinsky. So we'll see more about what Celsius has in store. But the trend is up, and until that changes, then there is nothing that would change my mind about that. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like the video, give it a like. If you really like the video, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.